A 38-point turnaround for the Milwaukee Bucks. They trailed by 23 in the first half, down by 20 at the half. If you're just with us, they took over the game in the third quarter, took the lead in the fourth quarter, and kept pulling away. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 33-16, 9 assists on the night. Milwaukee looked like a different team in the second half.
Yeah, I had two guys for me, Ilyasova and Pat Connaughton. Both those guys with 3 of 6 and 3 of 5 from the three-point line, 13 points and 15 respectively. That's 28 points. And then the guy who said, "Hey, Booz, hey, Smitty, you don't have me as the #1 option for the MVP." He came out with 33. He had 16 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 or 3 block shots. He took over the basketball game.
Yeah, it's like the Miami flu went away at halftime. They were down by 20. They had 71 points in the second half and took control of the game. They played great defense. Miami couldn't get it going. They swarmed the paint, did a great job of rebounding, and then Giannis did what Giannis does.
Then a huge difference, obviously, from the three-point line for Milwaukee. They were 1 of 14 in that first half. They hit 11 threes in the second half on 19 attempts. But it all starts with the MVP candidate, Giannis Antetokounmpo. They just could do nothing with him in the paint, and the Bucks found their touch from outside. Maybe got some fluids for that South.
Yeah, they might. A little IV. Started knocking down some shots, and Mirotic hit a couple threes. And like you said, Pat Connaughton hit 3. Ilyasova hit 3. But also Middleton played well, and I thought Eric Bledsoe had a nice second half.
Defense also picked up significantly in the second half for the Bucks.
Yeah, great job of shrinking the floor, helping each other. You saw the communication out there, them talking to each other, trading players off, contesting shots. Giannis snagging up every rebound, it seemed like. And they got them out in transition, got them easy buckets. That three-point line opened up everything else.
All right, let's hear from Ersan Ilyasova after a comeback win in Miami.
Let's start with that halftime conversation in the locker room. Your team trailed by as many as 20 points. What was said, because it clearly worked?
I mean, we just started poorly the game. Obviously they be on us. Make a lot of shots. I think defensively we was really bad on the beginning of the game. The second half we went to locker room. We're talking about each other. Obviously it's a long game. We have to stay positive. I think we did a couple of adjustments against zone. It was kind of awkward for us. We never play against zone whole season long. And I think we tried to pick her up, and I tried to play our pace in the game, and that's why we end up get up and win the game.
You guys had to hit just 1 3-pointer in the first half, then you hit 11 in the second half. What was the difference?
Just be aggressive, the same mentality. Obviously the shots didn't go for us in the beginning, but second half we started making them, and it would make a difference with us.
After 5 straight losses in this building, you finally get a win here. How much confidence does that give your team, knowing that this could potentially be a playoff team in the first round?
I mean, it's great win for us. Obviously it's one of the games of the season. But like you said, at the end of the day, in the playoffs, you never know who we play against. But with this game, we kind of send a message. No matter what, who come, play against us, they're not going to beat us in a 4 series game.
Thanks, Urs.
Thank you.
Ersan Ilyasova with 15 points. Giannis had 15 at the half, even though they were down by 20. He wasn't the problem in the first half. It was the three-point shooting and a little bit of sloppy play, but they never really did corral him the way they did the first couple of meetings with Miami.
No, they didn't. I mean, even though they struggled first half as a team, but I thought in the second half, Booz and Matt, that they got out and played faster. Even in the half court, he just took an angle and kept driving. A lot of these plays was him to use the recipient, but there was never a play where they were just moving around waiting for the heat. I thought Giannis did a nice job, and also Budenholzer of picking up the pace and playing fast, and they got some easier buckets.
You see a lot of plays there where he's got some sort of momentum and only one Heat defender in front of them, and usually that defender is smaller because that's most of the world, right? I mean,
right. Now, he seemed more decisive tonight. Like he was just going attacking. Obviously, we talked about it pregame on what they do to him, swarming him, sending bodies his way. Obviously, he watched film, watched tape, studied, and you can tell he was more prepared this game.
So for Milwaukee, that completes a 26-game stretch in which they have played 18 games on the road, including 15 of their last 20. They now have a 3-game lead on Toronto for the top spot, not only in the East, but best record in the NBA, with 5 of their next 6 coming at home. So a chance to pad that lead a little bit in the standings.